we flipped my phone, so now I've gotta look in a different spot. Hopefully everyone can hear me well. I've got my nice mic set up, so hopefully it's not the horrible echo of last time. And so we're actually not at Walnut Hill right now, as you can tell. We came up to Columbus for the weekend, and we're actually just coming back from Home Depot. So we went and got ice cream at Jenny's Ice Cream. If anyone's been there, it's the absolute best. It's where Connor and I had our first date. And we brought our daughter as not a bribe, a reward for 7 consecutive days of not waking us up to go to the bathroom in the evening. In the night. She can take herself. We've just been so tired, so we knew it was time for her to do that on her own. So anyways, that was her reward. We're just coming back from that. So hopefully we've got about 4 minutes till we're back at the house. So hopefully my connection stays strong through that. If it doesn't, we'll be back to Wi-Fi pretty soon. You'll have to excuse my voice. I've just had like throat issues all week and asthma and a bunch of dust going on at the house, and it's been quite the cocktail. So I actually don't have anything that I'm sipping right now. So we normally do our what are you sipping and what are you reading bit, and I do have books with me from what I've been reading. Not much has changed, but I'm not currently sipping anything. But yeah, go ahead and throw up in the chat what you are currently sipping. Or if you don't have something right now, what's been your favorite drink of choice, your favorite beverage as of late, and what you've been reading so far. So I'm finishing up Establishing Home by Jean Stauffer. If you've been on my other lives, you've seen that. You've seen that a couple times. So it's just so, so good, and I'm definitely buying it. And then my other one is Outlander. I'm still working through it. I'm very close. This is what I've got left. So I love it so much, and I still really, really, really want to go to Scotland. It's making it worse. I'm thinking about buying thousands of heather seeds so we can have fields of heather at Walnut Hill. So Connor doesn't know that, but I've been eyeing them. So Connor's here.
Hello.
Yeah. So he's an Outlander fan as well. We watched the show together. He hasn't read the books, but you like the show, right, babe?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good show. I have Scottish heritage, so it has a special place in my heart. And yeah, so let me look in the chat. It's harder on my phone to look in the chat, so let me see. Okay. Oh, now I can see it. Okay, Debbie is sipping Zip Fizz. Is that like one of the flavored fizzy waters? I haven't heard of Zip Fizz. And Debbie says she loves the Outlander series. Oh, they're just so good. They're so, so good. Deborah is sipping spiced apple cider, reading All Things New by Fiona and Terrell Gibbons. Ooh, spiced apple cider sounds really good. We woke up to a dusting of snow here, so spring is not quite here yet. So apple cider sounds wonderful. And yeah, All Things New, I haven't heard of that. You'll have to tell me about it. Yeah. Mom, I'm itching for you to watch Where the Crawdads Sing so we can talk about it. So you should read that next. Has anybody else read Where the Crawdads Sing? I listened to it on audiobook, and the reader is fantastic. absolutely fantastic. I started eating polenta or grits after listening to the book. Just the way that she said grits made me want to do it. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get the angle on this. Let me go back to my chat. Sorry, I have to do it in a different way. Okay. Deborah said, I've read the first 3 Outlander books, entrancing. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't hand it to like my teenage daughter, but I think it's excellent for those who are in a committed relationship. I think their love is just very real and beautiful. And they get just so mad at each other. Connor and I are kind of like, is it twin flames in that way? I don't know, Clash of the Titans. When we do fight, it's pretty crazy, but we're just very, yeah. Okay, Debbie, I read the Outlander book, started watching, but it was a little rated R for my taste. Yeah, it's pretty fiery. Zip Fizz is powder to add to water. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Well, let me know if you have questions. We're entering the neighborhood, so it's probably gonna pick up on the Wi-Fi here soon. There might be a little bit of a glitch while it does that. But then I'll get myself set up and my camera will be stationary, and but you'll probably hear little voices. My daughter. So, I'll wait for you guys for when the door is unlocked. Sound good? Do you want to just give me a thumbs up when that one's unlocked? So let me tell you some of the. Debbie said, "How cold is it there right now?" Too cold. It's too cold. I think it's in the. I think it was supposed to be in the 40s today. So, yeah, it's not too windy today, luckily, but it's just so cold. It's so cold, man. It's tough with kids because we're just tired of the cold. There's not really snow outside, so they're just itchy to be. They want to be inside because it's warmer. And this is a hard time to parent. I'm very excited for when we can spend our days outside. Okay, now I'm gonna transition, guys. But our daffodils, if you read the newsletter, then if you haven't, just go to that and you can see pictures of the daffodils that have been popping up at Walnut Hill, which are just gorgeous. Hi, Mavis. And so they're coming up despite the fact that the weather doesn't. Let me see. Where am I gonna set up shop, guys? I'm gonna go in the girls' room, okay? I have to be in an area where the kids can still be loud, but I can lock the door. Okay, guys, I'm gonna try to set up my stand so I don't have to keep holding it. We'll see how this works. Okay. This is so cute. The girls have a triple bunk bed for when they're here at their Gigi's house. It's kind of a mess right now, but let me go back to the chat. How's my audio, guys? Is it better? I hope it's better. I hope it's so much better. Deborah said it was 81 here yesterday, but high 50s today. Predicted to have another freeze later this week. Texas, man, it's very similar to Ohio. The weather's just all over the place. That's the thing, you appreciate those warm days during the winter, the late winter like this, but at the same time, it like fools you, and I almost wish the misery just, I don't know if it's worse to feel a taste of the spring and then have it go back or what. I don't know which one's worse, but um, okay. Oh, sis says hi. Mom says hi too. Hi, Nana. Hi, sis. Deborah, you aren't at Walnut Hill today, are you? Nope. So we are at my mother-in-law's right now. We came up because we have mm, not even a, I don't know. We have a portion of our things still that and we were just exhausted. So we left, um, at least it's not too bad. Um, so we are in the Columbus area. Let me go to the chat. I wish it would. So that kind of leads to right now we're being able to visit. Um, anyone else having trouble with the feed freezing up? Yeah, I wasn't being able to get my feed, and now it's popping up. So maybe we were all having some issues there. So hopefully talk to Daddy about it. Okay, I love you. Cousin fights. Um, so we want to be able to come back here and visit, but that leads us into our spring plans. So if you've read the newsletter, then some of this will be repeat, but our spring plans are very exciting. For us at least. My number one animal that I really want to bring to the homestead is a dairy cow. Felicity and I have dairy sensitivity where we do best with raw A2 protein milk, which is more of like, think of your old heritage breeds of cows. And a lot of Jerseys and Guernseys are A2 as well. And that milk is just expensive, and I'd rather just like walk out to my barn and like get a few gallons than have to do this long drive that I'm doing right now to get ours. Um, so as much as the cow is top of our list, we have some serious tick problems. We just got another one on Mavis, found another one. Um, so they're back. They're back. It's starting to warm up a little and they're back. And we do the chews and all of that, but they're just some aggressive ticks. So I've decided that we're going to I brought it to Connor and he was okay with it. And we're going to bring guinea fowl to the farm. They're kind of loud, but I think they're just fun and quirky. But the real reason is because they are really good at eating ticks. From everything I've read, they can just really decrease your population within a week or two, and then they can just pretty much wipe it out and have it not be a problem pretty soon after that. So, and then they lay eggs a lot less than like your higher, about as much as like a silky chicken. So not one of your like major production chickens. I've looked at, and it's like about an average of 100 eggs a year, but they're really cool because from what I hear, they're spherical and they're blue. So they'll just be fun. But we're going to bring guinea fowl, but that also means that because they are not a domestic bird, then you have to kind of like trick them into deciding that they want to make your place home. And so where a chicken is happy to just kind of hang out in your space, a guinea fowl, you have to like really entice them. So some of the things that we can do is you only feed them at night so they know like I want to come back to the coop so I can get some food. And then also Deborah said guinea eggs are round, blue, and have a very hard shell. Yeah. And then I also read that one of the best ways to keep them around is to get I don't think they're called chicks, I think they're called keets. Either way, get your baby guinea fowl when you get chicks, and then they bond, and so they're more likely to stick around. So although we're crazy lucky and in an area and we know enough people that we're able to get our eggs for super cheap or free. So we didn't have chickens at the top of our list. They're moving to the top because they will help our guinea fowl stick around and eat ticks. So that is the big spring plan. Tomorrow I'm going to go get a little like transitioning cage for them to, once we get the chicks, when they're ready to start being outside. So I found one for a really good deal up here. So I'm going to go grab that. And we're picking up, I think the chicks are going to be on April 16th and the guinea fowl are going to be April 18th. So it's enough time for us to fix up our shed and get it animal proof, well, predator proof. And we very well might have our livestock guardian puppy by then. That's something I didn't talk about in the newsletter. We have a, sorry, the girls are playing in the back. Our livestock guardian puppy has been born. And so, yeah, she'll be joining the farm. We haven't even seen a picture of her yet, but a friend's grandmother breeds them and is holding one for us. So we'll bring her and the chickens and guinea fowl. So let me go to the chat. Okay, Debbie, what is the most surprising thing you've found at the house so far? Okay. Rapid fire, bird poop. Bird poop, a lot of bird poop. Didn't expect that. That was probably the most surprising, honestly, just finding bird poop all over the second floor. Because if you watch the tour video, then one of our windows has detached slightly, and so birds can get in through there. And then also there is there's holes in the ceiling, not the roof, the ceiling. So the birds would come in through there and swoop up. And anyways, so we have a lot of bird poop. And then positive, surprising thing is finding floors that are in absolutely fantastic condition. We're looking at only having to replace a few floorboards, and we have huge amounts, like square footage of hardwood. So that was such a relief. It was pretty scary for us to pull that back and play the game of, because we hadn't worked it out with our contractor for him to do flooring. So we were going to have to cough up a huge amount of cash if we needed to. And the flooring's pretty good. So that was a good surprise. Deborah, are you getting 1 or 2 livestock guardian dogs, and will the puppy be trained to protect before you get her? Good question. So we're only getting 1 livestock guardian dog at this point. Our dog Mavis, although she's not a livestock guardian dog, she is a wonderful dog. She's very protective of our family, but not in an aggressive to other humans way, unless if somebody tried to hurt us, she'd get very aggressive. But she has shown, she's half Australian Shepherd, half Newfoundland. So she's got the nanny dog of the Newfoundland, and then she's got the herding instincts of the Australian Shepherd. So we have seen her around chickens. We've seen her around, has she been around? She saw my parents' goats. She didn't interact with them, but she also didn't try to get after them. But when she was around chickens, she just herded them. So we're thinking that Mavis might transition to being an outdoor dog so she can have a buddy, and our livestock guardian dog can have a buddy. And the livestock guardian dog, though, is going to be, spending a significant amount of time with its mom and probably the dad, who are livestock guardian dogs right now, and they're really good livestock guardian dogs. So the dog is getting training, which does make me slightly nervous. I don't know the word for it, about how we're going to introduce Mavis and this livestock guardian dog, because obviously livestock guardian dog is supposed to not like other dogs being on the property, but they're going to need to be friends. So that is my research over the next week once we get home, figuring out how we do that introduction. I think it will help that the livestock guardian dog is coming to Mavis's property. So the guardian dog isn't saying, this is my space, and you're coming into it. So, if anybody has tips on that or anything, then I am open to that. Let me know, because yeah, we want to be sure to do that well. But I do want them to be able to be together because we do have 2.5 acres for the dog to cover. And I have heard that if you have a bigger plot of land, not that that's a ton, but a bigger plot, then you want two, so one can be on watch and the other one can rest, and they can switch back and forth, and it's not so much pressure on your one livestock guardian dog. So let's see, we got a couple messages in the chat. Debbie, will you eat the guinea fowl eggs? Have you eaten them before? Any difference in taste? No idea. I will want to try them, and I'll probably just like cook them separate so we can taste them and see what we think. I've had duck eggs and I love them. I've had them just as scrambled eggs and I love them. I've had them in baked goods and love them. So yeah, we'll see. Either way, we'll have 2 livestock guardian dogs that would love eggs. And Victoria, my friend who breeds Weimaraners, has her Weimaraners and her livestock guardians get along fine. Yeah, I think they'll be okay if I introduce them well. Deborah, are you going to leave the solid floors as they are, or are you going to paint and refinish them? That's one of the things we're discussing right now. They are that deep burgundy, but there's a lot of the areas that I've shown you before, and I talked about it in the tour, where they painted around a rug, which works well if that room is going to have a rug that size. I don't mind. But some of the rooms, like the living room, has some planks that we're going to need to completely replace. So it will look really out of place if we don't repaint it. So we're throwing around the idea of refinishing them. We really like the idea of the actual like wood being seen, but we also have to decide what's going to look best. Or would it just be better for us to just repaint everything? Yeah, we're going to have to decide. We need to make these decisions with the house, but also we're hoping to start expanding our family. Hopefully next year there will be, sometime late next year maybe, there will be like Angelo baby too. And so we also want to be conscious about the projects that we start, because we obviously don't want to be in the middle of a massive project and like a baby show up. And then after that, we're wanting to have a couple more pretty quickly. So we're just trying to be really conscious about those choices. So we will see, but we would prefer to refinish. We might end up painting for the time being. Deborah, the puppy won't know what she is supposed to protect until you train her on that. I can talk you through it when you need. Thanks, Mama. Yep. That's another reason we're getting the chickens now, because we can't have a cow and we're not being able to get the lambs right now. So we want something for the animal to be able to, the puppy to protect once it comes. Deborah said, I've had guinea eggs, no real difference in taste. They're fun to have just because they're so unique. Yeah, we want them for ourselves, and then we also want to have a farm stand, and how cool would that be to be able to go to the farm stand and see these cool looking eggs. So we are wanting our house to be, I want to be able to work and not leave home. So both the YouTube channel, which would be so cool, and I'm about 99% convinced that I'm going to go ahead and start a blog in tandem with the YouTube channel. Here, talk to Daddy about it.
Is it okay if Laura stays here for one more night?
I mean, it's not, I'm not in charge of that, so Go figure it out with Daddy. And so we'll probably be starting a blog here soon. And we're wanting to do the farm stand, and we're wanting to do a You Pick pumpkin patch, and we're gonna want to do vintage movies on the lawn and all sorts of really cool things. And so all of that to say, we want our home to be a really cool place. And we also just want it to be a gathering place for our family and friends. And so having really fun chicken breeds, like we're going to have chocolate silkies, and they're not the most productive of birds, but they're cute. They're so cute. And we want kids to be able to come up and touch the animals and just have a really cool experience. And how cool is it once you find like a guinea fowl egg, especially with, we're going to homeschool. We are homeschooling. And so it's really important to me that I make our house and grounds a really exciting place for our family to be. So, and I don't like going out a lot, so I'd rather our house be really cool than have to go somewhere to find our fun. Deborah, quail are supposed to be a hot commodity right now, growing in popularity. May want to consider them too. Yes, I have been considering them. I've had to think about, like, do I want to have to deal with quail eggs? But they're really cute. They're really cute. So honestly, I mean, I was looking at pheasant too. I think once we have the structure, Connor's going to find that a lot of really fun animals start showing up. But yeah, quail are great because they're small, and they're just fun. Quail are my favorite birds, actually. Sissy, anything happening with the wine cellar? Not a lot. There's not a lot happening with the wine cellar because we're still in electric mode. That's going to be going on probably for another month at least, I would guess. But we'll be able to start bringing in some other projects at the same time because some of that will just be waiting on the electric company to come bury our line. So yeah, there's just not a lot with the wine cellar right now. Oh, but one exciting thing, this upcoming week, we should be having a welder come to look at the wine cellar and talk to our contractor about custom making the door for the wine cellar. This is going to be such an incredible piece. We kind of have to have it custom made because, I mean, how many people have a wine cellar like that? But also, it's slightly uneven. One side is slightly higher than the other, so we can't just give exact dimensions. It really just, we need a custom welder. And I met some friends, and the husband happens to be a welder and happens to be, he's been working for a company for a long time, and he's starting up his own. And so he's looking for work, and that's perfect. So they should be meeting hopefully this week. So that's very, very, very exciting. What is Amos working on right now? So this has been an odd 2 weeks with Amos. His worker with protecting privacy didn't turn out to be a great fit because to work for Amos and to work on a project of this size, you have to, or at least be willing to work. And so, yeah, I need to be careful about protecting privacy, but I'll say it's harder to find people with good work ethic. So Amos has been trying to find another worker. He is Amish, and so, and some, I don't know if some Amish, but at least some Mennonite do drive. Amos does not. He owns cars, but he needs a driver. So he hasn't had his helpers would drive. He hasn't had that helper for about 2 weeks. So he's had to pay drivers. So I've been helping him with my networking skills, helping him try to find somebody. So hopefully, hey girlies, can you go on out, please?
We're
You've got other places to play. Please go somewhere else. I love you. I'll see you soon. Sorry, lost my train of thought. So, yeah, I've been helping him try to find good work. So he interviewed somebody this past weekend. Hopefully it went well. We have a great worker on our hands. But all that to say, Amos has only been able to work a handful of days, and it just hasn't been the most productive 2 weeks for him. And he's had some home shows in Cincinnati to do. So, but that has given us a chance to really catch up and get the floors ready for him. And yeah, so it's worked out fine. So we're probably about towards the end. I know we normally go a little bit longer. I'm going to make some chili, and I've got some hungry, crazy girls downstairs. So go ahead, and if you have any other questions, throw them up on the chat, and I'll head off in a couple minutes. I will say the new newsletter went out, and honestly, I had so much fun writing this newsletter. There was so much more I wanted to say that I've been having the thought that I might want to go ahead and do my blog at the same time as starting this YouTube channel. It really intimidated me, but I had so much fun writing that newsletter, and I had some people text me after saying that they really enjoyed it and that they liked my style of writing, and so I'm almost convinced that I'm going to go ahead and do that. So if you have feedback on that, let me know. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to do that. So we're entering a new phase of life again where I'm going to have to be getting up really early to bust in some work hours before Connor has to show up for work, and so he can watch Felicity during that time. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be, I would guess it would be about 2 months before I'm ready for it. I have somebody working on a logo right now. I reached out to a really good friend, and we have some really exciting projects. Some possible merch coming up, and stationery, and prints of Walnut Hill, and I think I've honed in on the fun splash of color that I want to paint our front door. So there are some really exciting things coming up. So if you're not on the newsletter, go ahead and I will add it to the description after this posts. But Mom, if you actually have a link, would you mind throwing it up? My sister's not on here to moderate. She's actually got an awesome new job, so she's not available right now. But Mom, if you have a link to my Substack, the newsletter, would you mind throwing it up? A link for, the newsletter, the Substack newsletter. Sorry, I can't really type. I should have that memorized, but if you don't have that, it's not a huge deal. I'll just put it in the description for later. But is there anything else? Let me see. I don't want to miss anything. Sis said your newsletter was fun. Thank you. I had so much fun writing it. I think my passion for writing kind of died a little when I was getting my history degree, and I had to write so many papers. And some of them were about things I was interested in. A lot of them weren't, and it just kind of killed that part of me. And so I've had a break for long enough, and starting to write these newsletters is fanning that flame, and yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. So we'll stick on here while I know my mom is scrambling, trying to find my link. Sorry, Mom, I didn't give you any sort of notice. I'm trying to think. Okay, go ahead and do this. If you want to, you can throw in the chat, or once this posts, you can go back like tonight and put in the description. Okay, I'm not found it. Can people see that? If you sent a link, I'm not seeing the link. So I can go ahead, Debbie, I know you're my aunt, so Mom, you can just text that to Debbie. It looks like maybe there's an issue sending links on the chat, but I'll for sure include it in the description. It takes a little bit for YouTube to upload the HD version of this video, but yeah, I'll go on and try to include that. Sorry guys, I'm really tired. I have not been sleeping well at all, which is usually not my issue. I've called my mom and talked to her about it. It's so hard. And then on top of it, there's the time change. And then I'm up here in Columbus. And actually part of the reason I'm here too is that I have a client still up here for organizing and interior decorating, and she just moved. And so I've been helping her. So I woke up early, and last night my daughter decided she was going to try to snuggle with us like 4 times last night. So sorry if I seem a little slow today. Okay. Nobody else has responded that they need the newsletter link. Thank you so much, Mom, for sending that to Debbie. I'll have it in the description. You can also, right now, like right after we're done, you can go to really any other of my videos, and there's a link to my free newsletter in the descriptions there. So, sorry, I should have that link memorized. Faith, hello from Michigan. Hi, Faith. I haven't seen your face on here, so looks like you're new to our lives. I will be back on here next week, 3 o'clock, and thank you so much for the patience with my slow brain, but I'm so glad we're getting places, guys. We're growing. We are growing. We have good audio, and the video quality is much better than it has been. So thank you for your patience with our new channel. Thank you for being here and for your support. If you enjoy our chats and you'd like to do a live Zoom session with our group, then you can head on over to my Patreon, which again, if you go to any other video, there should be a link to it. I will also put a link in the description of this video when we're done. And that's where you can do a $3 a month, $5 a month, or $7 a month membership. And I have different perks that come with it, up to being entered into a contest to stay at our Airbnb for free for 2 nights. And the $3 a month is where you get a paper, like snail mail, I call it Pony Express membership, where you get a snail mail newsletter. So anyways, and the mid membership is when we do a Zoom call together. So if you like that, head over there, and I'll see you next week. Bye guys.